That's Stone Kid, the kid that brings you okay content sometimes, and today I'm going to be giving my opening thoughts about Persona 5. I'm going to dedicate this video to my friend Reed Jeffrey / twitch.tv SGB He lent me this, so good man, go follow him on Twitch, he's actually pretty good. So, a little bit about the story. It just follows a kid. You don't know his real name, but his persona name is Joker. You've all seen him. He's in Smash Bros. You know who he is. I'm not going to bother you too much. And the whole story starts out with him in prison, and he is talking with an attorney, and he gives his whole life story back to when he first got his persona. So, he's the new kid at a new school just because he was kicked out of his old school since he has a criminal record for an assault charge, which is kind of stupid when you think about it because a guy was forcing himself on a woman and he came up, punched him in the face, and he sued. So, like, it's kind of stupid because he was technically in the right, but yeah, he is with a new father. He's not really a father. He's more like, it's kind of like more like a foster care deal. He's going with this guy. He's living with him. So he's going to a new school, and it's just a basic school. And he's on probation, so if he does anything out of line, he'll be kicked out of the school and sent to juvie. So he doesn't want that. So his first day starts out with meeting Ryuji. He is a key character, one of the only have left, pictured here. And I forgot to picture Joker, who was right here. So he's walking to school with him, and a mysterious app comes up on Joker's phone, and then they're transported to a friggin' castle, which is their school. So how it worked is the whole world there is distorted, and one of the people at the school, Kamoshida, who is a terrible person, I'll explain why later, those had distorted desires of what he wanted the school to be. He's a gym teacher, by the way. So when they go in, they find Morgana, who's a cat. Well, like a human, but he's in a cat's body, pictured right here. And they find out a lot of the people on the volleyball team were being tortured there, and he's putting them through what they called training. It's not really training, they're just getting hurt and abused. They get cornered by guards, and Joker releases his persona, which he gains right that minute, named Arsene, pictured right here, and he defeats the guards. And the combat system in the game is really good, and I'll explain it later, because it's kind of like a Pokemon turn-based RPG deal. So, yeah, they escape from the castle, and they see Kamoshida there, so he is the ruler of what they call a palace. So they leave, and they decide to investigate people on the volleyball team and see if they're abused. And they find them with like bandages on their face, towels around their eyes, because they got them from practice. And one of the guys, Mishima, he's especially beat up. And another girl on the team who's really beat up too is named Shiho. And one of the characters, Anne pictured right here because she's a prominent part of the story. I'm not going to picture Shiho because I really don't think it's important. She is very beaten down, and she's on the starting line on the volleyball team, so she can't really confront Kamoshida because she wants to keep her frontline status. And her friend An, I just pictured, she's not really dating Kamoshida. She's kind of not. She's kind of going along with it. Shiho doesn't have a lot to live for, and volleyball is her life, so she just kind of rolls with it. But eventually, one day, Shiho jumps off the roof of the building, and she falls into a coma, and her chances of survival are very slim. So the boys decide to go back to the castle to finally beat Kamoshida because he's an absolute bunghole. No one deny it. So they go back, and what part I'm at is An finally got her persona, and so did Ryuji. So, like, it's just kind of like that. And they beat Kamoshida. His distorted desires fade away. Oh, characters? Kamoshida is a great villain. You know why? Because, like I said earlier, he's a bunghole. I hate him, and I wanted to kill him because he sucked. He's responsible for the death of a probably about 17-year-old girl, and he abuses all of the volleyball team. He calls them into their office to talk to them, and friggin' bam, just hits them. Because, like, sometimes they might not do anything wrong. Sometimes they might just be doing their best, and that's it. And he tries to pull it off as kind of like, I'm a strict teacher thing, but he's not. It just borderlines on abuse. And Joker, he's a silent protagonist, but he's pretty cool. Ryuji almost bet the shit out of Kamoshida in the real world, but he couldn't because Joker stopped him. But he is such a good character, even though he kind of has a criminal record too. But he will always do what is right, and he knows the right or wrong. And An, I don't really know much about An. She's just kind of normal. She's very caring for Shiho when she's going through a bad time, and she's always going to do anything for Shiho. And Morgana's a cat. pictured right here, but she's pretty cool. I like Morgana. She's pretty cool. And I'm going to be talking about the gameplay. The gameplay is basically what Persona 4 dealt with. I played Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita. I thought it was great, but this one is certainly better even though I haven't finished it. It includes a lot more. It's your basic turn-based. You can either do a melee attack, a Persona attack, or the new entry in this game, the gun. Every character has a gun. Joker has a pistol, Ryuji has a shotgun, Morgana has a slingshot, and Anne's got a pistol. So you can only use about a certain amount of bullets, and they can't be replenished unless you go into the real world. But if you knock out or stun an enemy, you can do what is called a hold-up, pictured here, in which the character can ask for either information, money, or an item. If they give you an item or money, they leave. And if they don't, you get to kill them. So, like, it's a pretty cool game mechanic. You actually have to decide whether you want to do get money from them, get information from them, or get an item from them. And another option is an all-out attack, which is basically just, it deals so much damage. So there's a lot of factors to play in what you're going to do. And I have 4 characters right now, so it's automatically you switch between a good couple, and you can't just burn through your Persona attacks really fast, because if you run out of medicine or items, you can't use Persona, and that just deals with physical attacks, which do a little bit, but not as much as Persona attack. And also, you can defend against oncoming attacks. So that's okay. And the stylistic choices in this. It kind of flip-flops back and forth between narrative game cutscenes to narrative anime cutscenes. And for me, being a big anime fan, as you can tell in the past, I was really excited for this, since my buddy Reed loved it so much that he bought the Master Edition of this game when it came out, and he lent me this. And the stylistic choices on how everything seems kind of cartoony, and it all kind of works out very well, and how red, the main color palettes are red and black to really show off the red and the black background. So I think that's really cool in the game mechanics that come with it. And that's really all I have to talk about, the characters, the story. I'm really excited to play more of it, and I'll give a full in-depth review when I actually finish it, because I heard this is like 100 hours of gameplay. And since we're in quarantine, and I pray that all of you are inside, safe, and healthy, because we can't let this pandemic spread, because it may not affect us, but if we carry it along to other people, they can get greatly affected. So I wish everyone is home, safe, and healthy. So I just pray for that. And also, I might do a review on Persona 4 when I'm about almost done Persona 5. So yeah, I'm that Stone Kid, and goodbye.